Hello everyone and welcome to the TV Society. For the first time, this episode is in English. Here, we talk total video, from linear TV to CTV, from online video to marketing and business innovation. We explore how technology, creativity and strategy are reshaping the way advertisers reach audience and how broadcaster can stay at the center of this transformation. The TV Society is a minted TV show produced by the Society's media with the support of Virtual Minds. Today's topic, selling linear TV like CTV, making broadcasters as easy to buy as platform. We'll discuss what it truly means to sell linear like digital, the challenges behind automation and data-driven buying, and how technology can make TV as simple and as powerful as digital platform. To explore this, with me today, Hossein Housseni from Virtual Minds, Nicolas Mignot from Freewill, and Sasha Stokajovic from 7-One Media, the ad sales house of the German media group ProSieben. Hello, Hossein.
Hello, Michel.
Hello, Sasha.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Hello, Nicolas.
Hi, Michel.
And thanks for, I would say, introducing a new challenge, a new experience for the TV Society, because we will do this TV show in English only. If you want to put some French words, no worries, it's possible.
Pas de problème.
Perfect. And we are here for talking about how to sell linear TV as CTV. And the first question for you, Hossein, can you explain to us in simple terms what it means to sell linear like CTV?
I can't. No, I'm just kidding. So the term says it already. If you look at the past decade of how digital advertising has evolved, and as you see, there's a huge decline in linear happening right now because the digital first economy wants to have easy access, flexibility targeting, no big commitments in TV buying. We thought that in a business that's still very relevant when we talk about a huge market still in linear. I mean, the French market, most broadcasters claim that still 70% of their business, although they focus on digital mainly, because there's a push from the advertiser perspective. So what we try to do with Sell It Like CTV, or what we're doing with Sell It Like CTV, is making the principles of CTV and adapt them to linear TV buying, which means you don't have any big commitments, you can buy programmatically, and you can buy CPM-based.
Thank you, Hossein. And the CPM basis is a big debate on the French markets. And Nicolas, from your point of view, how is this concept changing the traditional TV business model? Hossein talked about adaptation. What is your opinion?
It's almost a revolution. It's not an adaptation. It's bigger than that. When you look at the world picture, at Freewill, we focus on delivering a platform for advertising in the premium video space. So broadcasters are the main players of this market. And like Hossein just said, there's a decline on the linear side, and it's due to the fragmentation of audiences that are going digital in many ways. So that's what we focus a lot on, and we are delivering innovation on that side to make sure that broadcasters are at the level of any digital player. But in the same time, you have to manage a revolution, which is you have to follow up a change and make sure that linear is going to digital in the right way. So the fact that we can do that with new tools, with new software, is accelerating everything. And that's all the point. Broadcasters have to accelerate, otherwise they will be in danger, and they will have to just see the decline and play with poor digital means. So they have to change everything now.
Thank you, Nicolas.
Well,
Sen, you want to say something else?
It's not only the technical issue, right? It's a mindset change in general, and because in legacy business like TV, there are always different opinions and different approaches that needs to be convinced at some point. So although we have all the solution tools you mentioned, it's still some work because most of the time we just talk about execution, right? How do we buy? But then we have to consider how do I measure and make it relevant before it comes to targeting.
Yeah.
Because this business is transitioning to an outcome business, right? It's not like click the click and website and that's it. It's those times are over, right? So we finally are forced to join a circle and collaborate at some point.
Thank you, Hossein. Thank you, Nicolas. So, Sasha, Nicolas told about revolution. He told about the fact that you have to manage a change by using a new tool. Now, Hossein told about a change of mindsets.
Yes.
From your point of view as the CTO of a big media group in Germany, ProSieben Sat.1, as a broadcaster, what does this transformation mean for your sales organization and also on the daily operation side?
Pretty much similar to what the colleague said. I think the bigger change or the main change is that we need to think in a digitized way. So everything what we are doing now in a digital world must be applied to the linear world, which means that our sales colleagues and operations, we as a whole, have to think in different KPIs. We have to use different tools. We have to collaborate differently. So it's not just only selling in a way of selling it spot by spot. It's more or less selling the audience, right? And this is, I think, the main change, like breaking down the silos, talking to everyone, understanding how the business looks like, and as well supporting the customers to really do the right thing. So in a nutshell, becoming more, let's say, digital first. Let's call it that way. Yeah.
Digital first, and to sell programmatically, I would say, the linear TV. That is the main goal, I would say, at the
Exactly.
end, on the technical side and operational side.
Exactly.
So let's talk now about marketing and business challenges. Hossein, what are the main technical or, I would say, operational barriers that still make linear TV harder to buy than CTV?
There are none. So now, where can I start? I mean, as I mentioned before, linear, this legacy business is based on upfront commitments. Planning is, as we learned in the past couple of days, is you have to pre-plan quite in advance. Where if you lay that on top of programmatic buying, which is way more flexible in real time, that changes the whole game. On top of that, targeting is a complete different ball game. Besides the fact that linear TV, and depending on the region, of course, in this fragmented world, became quite blurry when you think about traditional panels, right? And if you think about CTV devices and return path data, people just like, although targeting is not as sophisticated in that area yet, it's just easier to buy. So I think the old school workflows, and there's so much legacy tech as well that's hardly integrated in a broadcaster, can be still used, with the layer technology we provide to an API, but needs to work together. They are siloed at the moment and do not work together, as well as the teams. Funnily, from a labor perspective or from a resource perspective, all these teams are merging right now, AV and digital teams. And we need to provide, we have to provide the technology for them to collaborate.
Thank you, Hossein. Nicolas, Hossein just explained the fact that it's important to, I would say, to break sort of silos at broadcaster and to change the way and maybe to stop to work with tools that are on the market for a long time, but that are not well adapted for a digital world. From your point of view, as you work with a lot of advertisers and agencies, what are the biggest business challenges to make TV buying more automated and data-driven?
It's quite simple. When you look at the TV business today, in the digital space, there are a lot of endpoints, so a lot of devices on which you can deliver TV and deliver advertising. All these technical stuff are very complex to understand, and it makes the buy, in a way, difficult, because we are more and more in a programmatic world, and programmatic is supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be managed by the buyers. It's supposed to be targeted, addressable, and it's not that easy to make it work. Set-top boxes, HBB-TV, you name it. You've got tons of different means to manage broadcast today. And also broadcasters are becoming more and more distributed by digital players. So you also have to take that into consideration. So it's a game changer where you need to change the mindset and the business habits, make sure that both the buy side and the sell side are trained, that they know how to execute all these things, and that they know how to change the measurement, change the linear habits that we used to have for years, for a decade, and transform that into best practices on the digital side of our business. So that's why it's very difficult, and it's taking a lot of people and a lot of resources to make that happen. But it's happening as we speak.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicolas. Sasha, Nicolas just explained the fact that we have to change of habits, we have to change mindsets, we have to change business model, yes. I suppose, as well. What kind of organizational or cultural change is needed inside the broadcaster groups to adapt to this new way of selling TV?
You mentioned the right thing. It's a mindset game. But before, before you start to change the cultural part, I think what is just necessary to be mentioned here is you need the tech infrastructure, which is there just to enable everything which we are doing. And this is, in our case, that's why we've invested in a media manager so far. Having this infrastructure in place, and then looking forward, the next thing is you need to upskill your people. So to use the right tools, to understand what the digital KPIs mean. And then the next step would be then to break down the silos, as you mentioned before. So you need to think about a different collaboration. So it's not anymore, I'm the sales guy, I'm selling it, and now I'm just tossing everything over to the operational guy and the rest. It's just really understanding how it works. So the whole ad tech stack must be, it must become, the whole culture must change to a tech-savvy culture. So, and this is, I think, the crucial part. And to do that, you have to support it from a manager perspective as well. Otherwise, you cannot change it. The transformation needs like you as a leader being an example and just really kind of showing the people how it works. And then with this whole understanding of how it works, then you can deliver the best benefits for the customers, for us as a company as well. And this is how it works. Like just together, just understanding the business and really kind of now trying to evolve and bring those two worlds together in a convergency layer. This is how I see it.
Thank you, Sasha. Hossein, you want to add something?
No, but I will. So although, you have to, what we've seen in the market now that a lot of broadcasters are trying to build their own solution towards, the access point from the agency, which is kind of a fragmentation as well, where from our perspective, we try to be agnostic. We try to keep that part of the technology on the broadcaster side so that buyers can have access to multiple inventory sources at some point. So to have a holistic perspective. Because if you build more fragments, it's not eliminating the issue. Actually, it's going to make it more complicated. So at one point, I will have to go to broadcaster A, B, C, D, even if I want to achieve certain convergence, right? But it would only work on that broadcaster side. So what we're trying to solve is to do this across multiple broadcasters at the same time. Very similar from the programmatic concept.
Because we are facing the same challenges, all of us. So that's.
Thank you. So we discuss a lot about theories, I would say. We discuss about the concept to explain how we could sell linear TV on the CTV model. So let's talk about example and case studies. And Hossein, you keep um, I have a question for you. Sorry.
Good. Good.
Can you share, as you work for Virtual Minds, can you share a concrete example how Virtual Minds is helping broadcasters simplify the buying of linear inventory?
Yes, I can. So, first of all, I think it's very funny that we're sitting in a French show with two French guys, two German guys speaking English. It's quite funny, right? So, and
It's Europe. It's Europe.
it's Europe, right? And Virtual Minds is
European tech.
it's European tech now. It just started out as Germany. So our main countries were in the beginning, of course, Germany and then Austria. Austria, we have a quite compelling case where you can't just swap to sell it like CTV. You need to convince the whole market at some point, right? Because everybody has to pull at the same string. So what we've done in Austria, what we do here as well, right? We go to the Mediametrie, we talk to the AGF in Germany, GTT, or the Barber in the UK, to have a common ground where we align on one standard, right? In Austria, the trouble was with all this fragmentation, as I mentioned before, is that panels just didn't really work anymore. So we work with the AGTT to convince the whole market, broadcasters, agencies, and all of the broadcasters to align on a certain standard and work with Media Manager as the orchestration platform.
Media Manager is a platform
the orchestration platform, right?
Yes. So we will call it Virtual Minds Media Manager because you have a lot of media manager in France.
Yes,
well. So
we have
when you are talking about media manager, you are talking about the platform that allowed to the broadcaster to sell their linear inventory.
Yes.
As on programmatic. I would
yes.
say.
You would consider a media manager in that case like as an SSP.
Yes, a linear TV SSP.
Yes. Okay. And with a consent partner who was able to model panel data and RPD data from digital devices to a scalable size, we're able to target programmatically in that market. So the whole market is buying on CPM now.
In Austria.
Yeah, but it didn't happen overnight. But it took a while.
It took 2 years now.
That was very positive, yes, okay. to say that. But the most important part, if you want to convince a market to go that path, is you need to talk to various of parties. Like we've seen now, I've been on a conference called ASI, which is a measurement and outcome conference. We see that there's a mindset change happening now as well, because they see the only way to go forward from a measurement perspective, outcomes perspective, is a hybrid model, right? So how do we bring these two together? Where the next step, which we already have, is the monetization and buying part, right? Yeah. So we have that revolution going on in the UK. There are very, very good signs in France, and I assume actually no, I got requests from Finland and the Czech Republic just the past 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's very compelling and very exciting. Because on the one hand, yes, that's the way to go. On the other hand, you need multiple parties to go down that route.
Thank you, Hossein. Nicolas, you represent Freewill, very famous ad tech in the video industry, I would say, and on the TV world as well. Total Video, I would say. Can you mention...
Excellent keyword.
Thank you. Can you mention one successful case or more where a broadcaster used automation or data to make TV buying easier and more efficient?
I'll mention two. The first one is coming from Antena 3 in Spain.
Yes, in Spain, yes.
Which is great because it's showing that sometimes simplification is making everything. they decided, I think it was at least 2 years ago,
Yeah.
to sell some of their shows, not on a GRP basis. They stopped that. They said it will be for the largest target, so 4+ years old, and it will be on a CPM basis.
Yeah.
And let's make it simple, and everything will be sold like that.
And I think it's the first time in Europe that
It's
a
the first
TV
time.
channel
Yeah,
decides
absolutely. First
this
time
kind
a
of
broadcaster
strategic
does
decision.
that. It's a premiere in Europe, and it works really well. It works really well for the biggest show. They're not doing that holistically on everything, but it works really well. And that's really about simplification and making things easy. So, and the second one is about linear addressable also. It's the initiative, and I'm sorry, it's French. It's an initiative that a few of our clients have taken together. France Télévisions, M6, RMC, BFM. They joined their forces to launch, together with Unlimitel, they joined their forces to launch a linear addressable platform with retail media data.
Yes, as Unlimited, for people that doesn't know, is real retail media players in France that belongs to Carrefour.
That belongs to Carrefour, exactly. So that's great initiative showing that, one, they can group together, and I think that more broadcasters will join this initiative, by the way. You can guess which one I'm talking about. It's great because it simplifies everything and it shows the power of TV. TV, not a media brand, but TV versus the rest of the digital world. So that's a very good initiative in terms of power, in terms of reach, but also in terms of sophistication and how far you can go in the targeting and the efficiency on a given space, which is probably the most difficult space that we have. It's on set-top boxes.
Yeah.
It's very hard, very technical.
On France, you mean?
In France. And it's doing actually very well, and more broadcasters will join the initiative. So I like this one because it's first steps that we are making to change traditional linear, into more addressable linear, and something that is, just digital native in a way.
Okay, thank you, Nicolas. Sacha, we just talked about French players, but also a Spanish media group. Let's talk about German media group ProSieben Sat.1. Could you please describe a project or initiative at ProSieben Sat.1 that shows how linear and CTV sales can work together?
I think a very simple example, I mean, there are multiple, but the pretty straightforward one which comes into my mind is exactly the one I want to point out is, for instance, selling PTV. We at 7 Media, we're having our own PTV product. What happens there is...
PTV as programmatic TV?
Yes.
Okay,
so
just for precising.
Thank you very much. And what we're doing there is pretty much we're having a unified booking system where you can book it, all of our products. And what happens then, that's the technological part. And I'm sorry, I'm always referring to the tech examples first. The underlying tech is providing the right technical stream. So to display the PTV on the linear TV, we have our different path, different stack, which is used for that. Again, referring to the media manager, and then you can leverage the great premium reach, right, and brand safety, and as well on the other side, there's a different part for the digital world, and you can just combine those together. And this is just one of the examples, but this is where we want to go to make it as simple everywhere, to treat everything as maybe not as one, but having it in a very same ecosystem where you could make it comparable as it is. But we have still to mention, I would say, the bigger benefits we are seeing in premium video inventory, which is broadcasting, because this is just a different brand safety and different environment where the reach is just huge, and you cannot not yet compare it to the digital world.
Thank you, Sacha. Now we are at the last part of our TV show.
Already?
Yes. We discussed about the concepts, the theory. We discussed about marketing and business challenges. we just finished to talk about example in different media group. Let's talk about the future. And the question for you, Hossein, what do you think will be the next big step for broadcaster to fully bridge the gap between linear and digital?
Oh, I mean, that's not an easy question, right? It
Always
depends.
when you talk about the future.
In the future, I'm retired, and no, let's because every region has different maturities, right?
Mm.
If you look at the U.S. and if you look at Europe, how far the UK is compared to Germany or France and Spain, it always differs. But the main thing I think broadcasters need to agree on is the ultimate truth. Like, what do we take as a measurement, as the center, which allows us to deliver the outcomes to the advertiser. So the advertiser really believes in this unification, this digital measurement, which we call CPM.
Mm.
On the other end, it will allow us. The next big step is for broadcast to fully open up towards the programmatic landscape from a linear perspective, right? Which is linked to improving workflows from from legacy technology that doesn't need to be necessarily replaced, but maybe just boosted, as well as the leverage of using AI, for example, right, and make that useful.
First time we are talking about AI.
Well, we're old
Was
school,
surprising.
so it's fine, right? So, so that's something everybody's looking into, right? I will say this is not going to be easy, right? Again, there are different opinions and different ways of solving these challenges. On the other hand, I think one of the biggest steps, and that's happening in the DACH region, in the UK, it's happening here right now. What I mentioned, that all broadcasters opening up to SMEs, right? They're building their own access point, which brings a balance back towards the big streamers, right? So if you, first of all, it's a huge revenue stream to give smaller players who don't have the opportunity for big commitments to buy on big broadcaster inventory. And second, it brings a healthy competition back into the game.
Thank you, Hossein. From your point of view, Nicolas, how do you see technology evolving to make TV buying as simple as buying on digital platforms?
Hossein threw a lot of keywords, so I have to be better than him. Well, it's simple. We've talked about data, we've talked about AI, we've talked about targeting, how to become more digital. I think that we have to become interoperable more and more. We have to work together. We have to understand how we can use the tech that exists today and how to better serve our clients ultimately, broadcasters or streamers or CTV. That space is moving very quickly. So we need to be at their service to change their overall business. It's about being fast in moving linear money to digital money. It's only that. So how do we make that happening by using the best of the tech that we have and making sure that it continues to evolve? Yes,
Boosting-
AI is probably part of it, of course.
Boosting legacy technologies, for example?
Boosting legacy technologies, but also working together, making more partnerships, making sure that we understand each other. Nobody will be on one platform forever. It doesn't fly. So we need to understand how we collaborate above the tech and making sure that we are just making this overall market evolve to its future state.
Thank you, Nicolas. Sacha, Nicolas talked about the way to collaborate above the tech. And you are a tech guy. So if we look 3 to 5 years ahead, how will the relationship between broadcasters, advertiser, and tech platform look?
That's a very good question. And to be honest, it's pretty much similar to what you guys are saying. I personally believe the collaborational part will increase. So this is what we already see. We do need to collaborate to compete against the tech giants, right? I think this will be more important in the future. To get there, I also agree that the tech must evolve, and it is already evolving. AI, yes, is a modern buzzword, but in fact, this will help us a lot. And talking about 5 to 10 years, it depends how fast we adapt. And you were saying as well, like boosting legacy. I would say replacing legacy. It's not anymore about boosting because boosting won't be enough. It's just really replacing it in a sense of rethinking our models, rethinking our way of working, rethinking about the business the models we are now having in the market. And I think that's the crucial part, to rethink and reinvent.
So it's not only an adaptation, it's a revolution.
I would say so.
It's a very big opportunity because still TV is very powerful. It's also a place where creativity can happen very easily in the different ways. And we have to make sure we focus on that and that we still make it very live, very addressable. It's actually behind one spot opportunity, you've got multiple people that you can address. So that's where the opportunity sits. There's just more space for more advertisers and more creativity across all broadcasters. That's the key thing to understand.
Plus, you mentioned that creative optimization is one topic as well, right? So because with linear, being able to offer linear programmatically, you have dynamic ad insertion, so you can change the spot. Plus, there will be probably more tech coming in that field. So you're not only addressing the right audience, you're giving the right experience as well, which must be a topic at some point. Right? So towards what you said, Sasha, is yes, we need to replace, but the broadcasters right now are at the stage where they don't want to replace. So it's a long way to go there till we reach the limits. Well, we're already at the limits. But nobody wants to listen to the truth. So we always say, like, let's be a layer, let's be a booster. They have to make that decision, right? We can't enforce it, so there will be a lot of changes. There must be a lot of changes at some point to go forward to make this successful.
Sasha,
just to set this straight, we were talking about the future. Of course, we have to do it step by step. I mean, just looking at our own company, we need to evolve. So, and doing it like. Yes, we need to disrupt everything, but step by step in a controlled manner. And yes, I do agree that we should take the benefits out of the existing model as long as possible. But on the other side, I think we also need to be more brave in changing the things that are currently maybe not running that smoothly.
You're right. I mean, because in 5 years we have a new buying revolution, right? Because there's the next generation of media buyers who might buy digital differently. We don't know. There's always
exactly, and tech will become, at least from my perspective, correct me if I'm wrong, commodity. So it will evolve quickly, and at some point we have to think about how just to use those super cool intelligent parts to make the best out of it. So the business model comes more into the center, and the collaborational part. This is.
And one more thing, FreeWheel is part of the Comcast Group's US group. So we have the US market as an example. This year was the first year where we see an inflection point between digital and traditional linear. It's the first year where digital is bigger than traditional linear. And we're far from it in Europe. So we still have a lot of way to go and a lot of efforts to make to reach that point. And make sure that we just, change our habits as well.
And rightfully said, the business model is moving to the center, because it's not only the way we, sell broadcast inventory today cannot be the way we do it in the future. Right? We need to be more agile, more towards the advertiser, more verticalized at some point to make this work.
Thank you, Hossein. Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, Sasha. It was the first the TV Society in English and the first TV show in English from 6.
Merci, Michel.
Merci beaucoup. No worries, we'll be dubbed to French. So,
So thanks a lot. I think that we will try again. Not try again. We will do it again.
yes.
So thanks for your trust regarding this the production of this TV show in English, and thanks a lot also to help us to change our mindset regarding the way to sell linear TV as the CTV. So thanks a lot, and we hope that I learned a lot, and I'm sure that it is the case also for our audience. So thanks a lot again.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for inviting
It
us.
was a
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the end of this discussion on how to make linear TV as easy to buy as CTV. The TV Society is a minted production created by the Society's media with the support of Virtual Minds. Thanks to our guests and to the technical and production teams at RMC BFM. You can watch this episode on LinkedIn and listen to it as a podcast on your favorite platforms.